So both are movements.
Yes, so thought is a movement, right? A movement, we suppose, of the nervous system. And
you see, it's a movement of becoming. I'm talking psychologically, not...
Psychologically. But I mean, whenever you think, something is also moving in the blood and the nerves and so on, right? All right, now, when we talk of a psychological movement, do you mean just a change of content?
Change of content.
Well, what is the movement? You see, what is moving?
So, look, I am this.
Yeah.
And I'm attempting to become something else, psychologically.
Yes, so that movement is in the content of your thought, you see.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So if you say, I am this and I am attempting to become that, then I am in movement, right?
Yes.
At least I feel that I'm in movement, right?
Yes. No, but I am, say for instance, I'm greedy.
Yeah.
Greed is a movement.
What kind of a movement is it?
To get what I want.
To get more, yeah.
More. It's a movement.
All right.
And I find that movement painful. Suppose. And I try not to be greedy.
Yes.
The attempt not to be greedy is a movement in time, is becoming.
Yes, but even the greed was becoming, right?
Of course. So, is it possible, that's the real question, is it possible not to become psychologically?
Well, it seems that would require that you should not be anything psychologically. That is, as soon as you define yourself in any way, then...
No, we'll define it in a minute.
What? No, but I meant, look, if you say, if I define myself as greedy, or I say I'm greedy, or I'm this, or I'm that, then either I will want to become something else or to remain what I am, right?
Now, can I remain what I am?
Mm-hmm.
Can I remain not with non-greed, but with greed? And greed is not different from me. Greed is me.
Yes, that will require, the ordinary way of thinking is that I am here and I could either be greedy or not greedy. Right?
Of course.
As these are attributes which I may or may not have. Now,
but the attributes are me.
Yes, now that again goes very much against our common language and experience.
Of course,
right?
sir.
That I am, instead of saying that I am my attributes, which suggests that the thought of attribution creates me, right, the sense of me. You see,
all the qualities, the attributes, the virtues, the judgments and conclusions and opinions is me.
Well, it seems to me that this would have to be perceived immediately as obvious.
That's the whole question. To perceive the totality of this whole movement instantly. Then we'll come to the point, perception. Whether it's possible to perceive, it sounds a little odd and perhaps a little crazy, but it's not. Is it possible to perceive without all the movement of memory? To perceive something directly, without the word, without the reaction, without the memories entering into perception.
Yes, well, that's a very big question because memory has constantly entered perception.
Of course, that's the whole...
You see, it would raise the question, what is going to stop memory from entering perception?
Nothing can stop it.
Yes.
But if I see the reason, the rationality of the activity of memory, which is limited, the very perception that it is limited, you are moved out of into another dimension.
It seems to me you have to perceive the whole of the limitation of memory. Now,
not one part.
You can see in general that memory is limited, you see, that because now, but there are many ways in which this is not obvious. You see, for example, many of our reactions that are not obvious are maybe memory, but we don't experience them as memory. You see, like you say, I experience me as being there presently and not memory. You see, that's the common experience. So suppose I say I want to become less greedy. Right? So I experience greed and I experience the urge to become as actuality, and not merely the result of memory, but I say I can remember that I have been greedy, but this me, the me is the one who remembers, not the other way around, that,
of course.
That memory creates me, right?
So all this really comes down to, can man live, humanity live, without conflict? That's really basically that comes to that. Can you have peace on this earth?
Yes, well, go ahead.
And the activities of thought will never bring it about.
Yes, well, it seems clear from what has been said that the activity of thought cannot bring about peace. It's inherently, brings about, psychologically, it inherently brings about conflict.
Yes. If we once really see or acknowledge that, our whole activity will be totally different.
But are you saying that there is an activity which is not thought, then?
Which is not?
Which is beyond thought.
Yes.
And which not only is beyond thought, but which does not require the cooperation of thought. That is...
Oh, certainly not.
That is that it is possible for this to go on when thought is absent.
That's the real point we have often discussed.
Yeah.
Whether there is anything beyond thought. Not something holy, sacred, I'm not talking that. I'm talking, is there an activity which is not touched by thought? We are saying there is. And that activity is the highest form of intelligence.
Yes, well, now we brought in intelligence.
I know. I purposely brought it in.
So
intelligence is not the activity of cunning thought. There is intelligence to build a table.
Yes, but intelligence can use thought, as you were saying, often said, right?
Intelligence can use thought.
Yes, or thought can be the action of intelligence, would you put it that way?
Yes.
Or it could be the action of memory.
That's it. Either the action is born of memory, and therefore memory is limited, therefore thought is limited, and it has its own activity, which then brings about conflict.
Yes. I think this would connect up with what people are saying about computers. You see, every computer must eventually depend on some kind of memory,
Memory, yes.
Which is put in, or else programmed, and that must be limited, right?
Of course.
Because now, therefore, when we operate from memory, we are not very different from a computer, or the other way around. Perhaps the computer is not very different from us.
I'll say once, a Hindu has been programmed for the last 5,000 years to be a Hindu. In this country, you have been programmed as British, or as a Catholic, or a Protestant.
Yes.
So we're all programmed up to a certain extent.
Yes. Now then we could say that you're bringing in the notion of an intelligence which is free of the program, which is creative perhaps.
Yes, that's right.
And
that intelligence has nothing to do with memory and knowledge.
Yes, it may act in memory and knowledge, but it has nothing to do with it in its
origin. It may
origin.
act through memory,
Yeah.
etc. That's right.
And
how do you find out whether it has any reality, not just imagination and romantic nonsense? How do you find out? To come to that, one has to go into the whole question of suffering, whether there's an ending to suffering. And as long as suffering and fear and the pursuit of pleasure exist, there cannot be love.
Yes, well, there are many questions there. Now, The first point is, say, suffering, or including pleasure, fear, and suffering, and I suppose we can include anger and violence.